Hi guys, this is Ginger from Ginger Snaps, and I'm here to show you a couple of more things in Active Inspire. It took me a really long time to learn how to do some of these things, and actually, I just became a Promethean trainer, so I actually learned some of these things because I had to teach it. So today I'm just going to show you some cool like little buttons that you may not be familiar with in Active Inspire. The first tool that I learned that you can use in Active Inspire that I thought was really neat and helpful is called the Desk Annotate tool. And what this allows you to do is to actually make, if you click on it, your screen will disappear, the bottom part of your screen, but you still have your toolbar here at the top. And this is really neat because what you can do is pull up, maybe say you're working on something on the board that you have as a document, and this allows you to actually write on this document instead of having to copy and paste this document into Active Inspire. And I actually used this document today. We use this for morning work, and every afternoon we go over this, and it just is really helpful to have this desktop annotate tool so I don't have to copy and paste that in the flip chart. Okay, so that's the desktop annotate tool. Another tool that I like to use that just kind of makes it your flip charts more fun. It's under View, and if you click on Page Turn Effects, you can actually add page turn effects, kind of like in PowerPoint. I like to use random because it changes every time you turn the page. So if you arrow to the next page, I'll put a shape on here so you can see kind of how the page turns, and you see something different each time you turn the page. So it's just another fun little trick, and it just kind of jazzes up your flip charts a little bit. Something else that I find really helpful in Active Inspire is if we are working on if you're working on a flip chart and you're having the kids come up and write something on the board, instead of having to right click and cut and delete each of those individual items, this button right here is your reset page button, and if you click that button, it will clear everything on the page. Another thing that is really helpful for, I often make flip charts for working with words each week, and I'm just going to show you how helpful that tool can really be. I'm going to find this file here really quick. I'm actually not sure where it is. I'll use this one. This one was from last year. So we usually have a making words section of the flip chart, and the kids come up and they make a word, and then I'm like, okay, let's clear off our letters. And it's just easy to have that reset page button there because all you have to do is click it. But this other tool right here next to it, this thing that looks like a spray bottle, it kind of has the same options for clearing your page. So if you have some things, on your page, let's say you add a background in here to your page, drag that out there. So this tool right here, clear annotations, it will clear any writing that you have on the page, that first button here. So if you have shapes in your flip chart and you don't want those to go anywhere, you can just click on this clear annotations button and those will disappear. Clear your objects will clear all of the objects on the page but not your writing. Clear your page will clear everything on your page. And I don't usually use either of these two right here, but it would clear your background if you wanted it to. And if you used a grid, it would clear your grid. The last thing I wanted to show you today that I thought was really interesting is when you're building flip charts, I know I told you in the first tutorial you can actually lock objects in place. You can lock those in place so they can't move anywhere. But what's really neat is sometimes when I'm building flip charts, I use this tool and then I lock it in place, and then I'm like, oh, I don't want it to be locked. I want to move that now. This button right up here at the very top is your design mode button. when this button is in red, you can move anything around on the page, even if it's locked in place when you're building the chart. When I'm building my flip chart, I like to keep this button on red, just so if I lock anything in place and then I'm like, oh, I don't really like where that is, I can still move it around. If I'm in blue mode, that is like student mode, design mode, student mode, and you can't move that around. So these are just some really neat tricks that I learned how to use this year. And you know, unless somebody shows you how to do these things, I don't know about in your district, but we didn't really have anyone come in and train us how to use these. So, you know, having learned how to do all these things this year, I thought it would be really helpful to share this information with you. So if there's anything else or any other questions or anything that you'd like to see, just let me know and I'll be happy to share that with you guys.